Alright guys, this is going to be my review of the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer 3. So yeah, I don't do this very often. Every now and then if a trailer comes out for a movie that I'm very excited for and I've got a lot to say about it, then I might kind of break down the trailer, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it and, I'll pause it throughout it and talk about each scene basically and what my thoughts are. So let's get started because I don't want this to be too much of a lengthy video. But this one is very different from the others, which is what has made it very exciting. Alright, so as you can see, we do get a couple shots there. We've seen that location in the past trailers, and we have heard that they were shooting there. So we do get to see what it is, and obviously I guess it's going to be where Ultron is hiding out, or where he is, making his plans or whatnot. This is very exciting. This is a really cool scene right here, because as you can see, we have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch that he's talking to, which is nice. They're more of his right-hand people than I thought they were going to be. I thought that they were going to be villains, but I thought that was going to be for a very short period of the movie. And from what this trailer has shown, it looks like for a good amount of movie they're going to be the villains, and it's only going to be at the end of the movie that they do turn good. But the more exciting thing to talk about, in my opinion, is of course that Ultron is in a throne. Very cool. He's got a very nice wooden Victorian kind of chair there that he's sitting in, and he has a red blanket or tarp draped over him. Really cool. Very... I don't know how to explain it, but it's very nice. I really like that a lot. I do have the select Doctor Doom chair that he came with, his throne chair, which is a wooden chair that looks like this. And I took my select Ultron, and I have him displayed in that because I think he looks so great in a wooden chair like that. I think he looks awesome. So it is actually really cool to see the movie doing the same thing where he's in a chair there. He looks really awesome. My only complaint has nothing to do with the movie. It's Hot Toys. I really wish that the Hot Toys one came with this chair. Now, of course, we do have more Hot Toys Ultrons that we're going to get, most likely, that being like an Ultimate Ultron, and maybe he'll come with this chair, but based on the timeline that it seems to be in this movie, this is going to be a relatively early scene with Ultron, and he's going to be in his Ultron Prime mode here, most likely. Possibly he'll even be in a slightly earlier one, but I think he'll be in an Ultron Prime state. And that being said, the chair should have came with the Ultron Prime one, and so that's a little disappointing. I really hope he comes with the chair, the Hot Toys one, and if he doesn't, I hope that the figure is capable of sitting, because if he is, I'll give him the Mandarin's chair, because I think this looks really awesome and really just neat. I love this.
To save the world, people will look to the sky and see hope. I'll take that from them first.
Okay, I love that, what Ultron is saying, James Spader in his great voice that's slightly technoed out. I really do like it a lot, but I love what he said, people have looked up to this guy for hope. I'll take that from them first. Really love that line. I think that Ultron is really going to be quite a well-spoken villain, and I think that that's going to make him very entertaining. Obviously, we have the Ultron Prime here, being either charged up by his own... by his own will. Possibly he is charging himself up or upgrading himself in some way, or possibly this is him breaking free from Tony Stark, although I don't see why Tony Stark would, have the battle with the Mark 1 Ultron and then still make him. So I'm not quite sure where this is. Either he's getting ready for battle, or he's charging himself up, or he's breaking free from Tony Stark. I'm not sure, but it looks cool. Okay, obviously, really love what Ultron's saying here, but we do get this shot, which is either missiles or possibly the Ultron Sentry suicide bombing like a tower there. I'm not quite sure, but overall, it's pretty neat. We haven't really seen any fights in this tower. Possibly this is just going to be a shot from a global kind of the world's being taken over type of thing. I'm not sure, but it does look very cool. Great shot of the Stark Tower. First one that we're seeing, an updated Stark Tower.
Try to create a suit of armor around the world.
This is very cool. Obviously, this is what I'm assuming to be Ultron taking over. I don't think that this is actually Tony Stark building him. This is obviously after the battle. I would assume after the Mark 1, Ultron, you know, crashes their party and they destroy him. I guess while Tony Stark's sleeping or something, he's going to be reassembling himself and making himself better and able to escape. That's my guess, at least. Very cool scene. Obviously, nothing too much to talk about, but it is just the Ultron Sentry causing havoc. I think that they're going to be really cool and a little bit more of a match towards the Avengers than just the Jatari. I found the Jatari to be really just weak and just destroyed easily. And I'm sure these guys will be destroyed easily, but if we do get some shots of them really like taking over, you know, it would be a lot cooler than just having them be there to be destroyed. Very cool. As you can see, more Sentry moving in. Not quite sure what this whole scene is going to be about. It looks like he's trying to save that car, because it looks like that's the car's bumper that he accidentally pulled off, and then the car is going to fall. So that would be really cool if we see Captain America fail in trying to save somebody. Possibly somebody's in that car and it's teetering on the edge. So Captain America goes to save him and he fails at it. That would be really neat. Now, I could be completely wrong on what the scene is, but that would be really awesome if that's what it is. This is cool. This is kind of like going to be almost leading into the Civil War. We've got Captain America and Iron Man kind of fighting over kind of morality, and I think that's a neat little scene, neat little way to set up Civil War. Now, the location that they're in, we do see more in the film, and it looks in the trailer. I mean, and it looks like this is maybe where Nick Fury is hiding out. That's what I'm thinking. I believe that this is definitely going to be a point in the movie where it incredibly slows down. What I think is that they're going to fight Ultron, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch and get their asses kicked, and then they're gonna go somewhere to escape them so that Ultron can't find them while they, you know, get their spirit back and, you know, kind of fix themselves so that they can give them another shot. That's my guess, and I feel like it's going to be a very slow scene, or, you know, slow moment in the movie, but it will be a good character building one. And obviously, we have this basically confirms the whole Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and Bruce Banner being a couple in this movie. Obviously, this is all in the same setting, kind of farmhouse. I'm guessing Nick Fury's place. Very cool scene. As you can see, almost like Wolverine claws. It is Hawkeye's arrows, though, which is really cool. Apparently, Tony Stark does improve his arrows, and he has more functions with his arrows, which is cool. Now, this could either be a scene in the present, or it could be in the past. Jeremy Renner has said that there will be a flashback scene that is almost kind of like a little reveal about his character, or just that's really cool. He couldn't say anything more about it, but I am very excited to see that just based on what he said about it. Although he didn't say much, it sounded very neat. Great scene right here, a great money shot of the Avengers all in a row, all flying towards Hydra soldiers. As you can see, we do have a Hydra soldier next to Thor there. Really awesome scene. And we can see that Tony Stark does have the scepter there. Most likely that scene where they're rushing the Hydra base is going to happen. Maybe it's even the first scene of the movie, and they're going to take the scepter back. And so that's why Tony Stark does have it. Very nice scene, of course, of the Avengers probably about to leave Nick Fury's cabin, and Nick Fury giving one last final speech to them, I'm assuming. This is very cool. This is what I think is going to happen before the cabin scene. I think that this is going to be their first real fight. Obviously, they're going to have the fight where they're all not wearing their costumes in the Avengers Tower, and they're going to fight the Mark 1 Ultron and the Iron Legion drones. But this is going to be where they actually go and confront Ultron Prime when he still has the twins under his control, and the three of them are just going to get their asses kicked, and then they're going to go to the cabin. That's my guess. Very cool scene just to see them on, I'm actually going to go back to that. Very cool. I do like the scene a lot. As you can see, we have Ultron and Iron Man, the two. I would call Iron Man the main Avenger in this movie, considering he has the most burden, as he did create the villain. And then, of course, you do get Thor and Captain America standing behind Iron Man, and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver standing behind Ultron. It gives you a nice look at Ultron's size as well. He is quite tall, very thin but quite tall, looking very cool there. And I'm very excited for this battle. I think this is going to be a cool one. This is another scene that we've already seen, although I believe in the last trailer it was actually flipped. He was actually doing this on the other side, so that's a little interesting. Nice little line by Captain America. Very cool scene. Obviously, this is going to be what I'm assuming is the Lego set where they're rescuing Vision from the van. I'm guessing that's the Lego set. This is the scene from that Lego set where they are either rescuing a Vision, or possibly that was just a gimmick that was created for that Lego set, but I think that's probably the case here. And as you can see, he throws Captain America throws his shield, goes right into Ultron Prime, and he takes the shield out and throws it on the ground. Really nice scene here about the Hulkbuster. Now, I like that this trailer didn't focus too much on the Hulkbuster. I don't want them to give us the entire fight. You know, I'd like to be quite surprised with that fight. So it is nice that we're not getting too much new from that. But we do have the Hulkbuster trying to presumably get away from the Hulk, but the Hulk grabs onto him, starts hitting him, and then of course the Hulkbuster just flips around and smashes the Hulk into a wall. Very neat there. And this is neat. This is, of course, Scarlet Witch taking over Black Widow. Possibly this is while they were fighting in the in that other area, in that like construction warehouse. Possibly this is a fight there where she is starting to take over Scarlet Witch. Although I doubt we're going to see a mind control Scarlet Witch. My guess would be, or sorry, a mind control Black Widow. My guess would be that somebody stops Scarlet Witch before she can fully take over Black Widow's mind. Neat scene there, of course. This is obviously seeing it from Quicksilver's point of view, where everything's frozen around him, so he can just punch Captain America. Really neat there. I like Quicksilver. We don't see too much of him, so it is nice to get a little shot like this. Alright, this is a great shot because, of course, we do get our first official look at the Mark 45 Iron Man suit. As you can see, it looks really cool. Now, this suit I would consider the complete opposite of the Mark 42. The Mark 42 was very gold with lightly red highlights everywhere. Now, this is completely red. This looks like it has more red than we've ever seen in an Iron Man suit, with very small places where there's gold. It does look really nice. I do like the chest, the way that this is the kind of indented or outlined there. I think it looks quite nice. And this is pretty cool. Talking about Hot Toys for really quick, I am buying the Mark 43, and I do plan to buy the Hulkbuster, so I don't know if I'm going to buy this just purely because I don't want to be spending an incredible amount of money just on Iron Man for this Avengers movie. I definitely want to cut back a bit because there are so many key characters that I need to get from Hot Toys, so I might be skipping the Mark 45 Hot Toys version, but I am very excited to see it, though, in person. Now this is probably the most exciting thing for me. I've always been a bit confused because there have been some things about the Ultron Prime that didn't add up to me. Now, from, until now, most people have assumed that the Ultron Prime is the final version of Ultron. Now, the only problems that I've had with that come from Lego. Lego does have an Ultimate Ultron, and that, of course, we haven't seen before. Now, possibly, I was guessing that possibly that's just something that was kind of made up by Lego or something of that nature. And then the fact that the Ultimate Ultron came with the most expensive set, while the Ultron Prime came with the Hulkbuster set, which is only a $30 set. So I was very confused by that. And then Hot Toys, when they released their Ultron Prime up for pre-order, they called him Ultron Prime. And I thought that was really weird. And if you go back and watch my video, I do mention this, that I feel like if they were just going to have that as the final Ultron, that they just call him Ultron, and that they wouldn't be specific by saying Ultron Prime. So that also was very strange to me. So it is really nice to actually get a look of this, which is presumably the Ultron, or the Ultimate Ultron, and that would clear up a lot of my problems. Oh, again, and then with the Hasbro Build-A-Figure one, his legs from the knee down were completely different from the Ultron Prime, and they were more just like regular shoes almost, instead of like skeleton feet, which is the Ultron Prime kind of look. And I thought that was strange as well. So those three things have all been really weird to me about the Ultron Prime suit from toy companies, that this basically explains, and it makes sense that this would be the Ultimate Ultron. So that makes the Build-A-Figure Ultron that Marvel Legends is doing, that I guess is the Ultimate Ultron. And then most likely we are going to get an Ultimate Ultron from Hot Toys. So I would say for anybody who's ordered the Ultron Prime, you might want to hold off on that, or might even consider canceling your order, because it does look like we're going to get a better version of Ultron rather soon, and it looks like he's not super different. There are some things that are different. Obviously, he looks like he's got armor on top of his arm there to make it bulkier, as well as he's got little like claws. It looks like he's wearing some type of glove, like he put more armor on, as well as his abs are completely different. He now has this caged ab look, and then the chest pieces are more pronounced. So it looks like, and then his eye lines too, they look deeper, which is pretty neat. So it looks like what's mainly the difference between the Ultron Prime and the Ultimate Ultron is that the Ultimate Ultron is an updated version of the Ultron Prime. It is very similar, but with more details. So because of that, I would urge a lot of people to wait on Hot Toys for the Ultimate one, considering they're going to be very similar. Now, I'm a huge villain fan, so typically I would buy Prime and the Ultimate, but considering they're so close, I am thinking that possibly I'll just wait for the Ultimate. I want to see the Hot Toys one first, though, before I make that final decision. But this was something that was a big reveal from this trailer. Really cool scene. As you can see, we do have Ultron's Sentry Army, which is very neat, and of course, you know, something that we were expecting, but it is nice to get a grand view of it. And if you look around the city, I mean, this place has been destroyed, so it is pretty cool. I do want to see a couple really nice scenes of the Ultron Sentry just wreaking havoc before the Avengers get there. I think that would be cool. Obviously, we do get that shot of Scarlet Witch with her new electric, I don't know what you call those, batons, so that's kind of neat. And now here's a great shot. Obviously it is from above going in. We have the Avengers standing in a circle, defending their spot there. No, the only weird thing is Quicksilver is not with them. I think that's a little odd considering Scarlet Witch is. And, you know, you might say, well, maybe Quicksilver's, you know, fighting somebody on the other side or something, but this is a money shot for a trailer, so I do not see why they wouldn't have Quicksilver fighting with them, unless maybe they started this a little too late, and if you, in the actual movie, the scene where we're up above, he actually runs off and takes a bunch of them, you know, and just like grabs them and just runs, and that's why, you know, it's the trailer has cut in at this scene where he's already gone. Maybe something to that effect. I'll be very interested to see why Quicksilver isn't in this shot, though, because it does seem to be the Avenger money shot, like we saw with the last Avengers, them twirling around where we saw like the entire team in a 360 view. That was the Avengers money shot. Now this seems to be this one for this movie, so I would be interested to see why Quicksilver isn't included, as well as why Vision isn't included. I thought that Vision was going to be a main member of the Avengers, at least in the end battle. This seems to be the end battle, and no Vision. Possibly he comes in later, though. Wonderful shot of Hulk taking out a bunch of them at once. Avengers, we've got the name there, and then an extra ending. We obviously have Vision here, which is really quite neat. It's our first look at him. Now, the only thing that's a little weird is this shot is very much like an after-credit shot. If you just look at the way that it's shot, it's very much like it's an after-credit scene. So I don't really understand that. I can't imagine that's the case. I believe Vision is going to be quite not a large part, but he's going to be one of the main characters in the movie. You know, he is a new addition to the Avengers, so I am a little odd to see him not being promoted so much. Possibly they're just kind of trying to keep him as much of a secret as possible, but it would have been nice to see him fighting or do something. Now, one thing is, if we go back slightly, I've seen people who are saying that this is the yellow infinity gem. Now that is really cool. I did not expect this Avengers movie to have anything to do with the Thanos universe, and it looks like we've got one more little Easter egg for Thanos in this Avengers movie, which is really awesome. It would be great if we did see an after credit scene that relates to Infinity Wars. That would be really cool. And his eyes are very neat. They're very electronic in nature. Really like the eyes a lot. I think that is well designed. So overall, this is a really cool trailer that showed us a lot of cool new things. Want to hear what you guys think about it and what you guys think about my personal theories based on the certain scenes I'm talking about. Thanks so much for watching.